Welcome to Learning Reaper. I'm your host, X.E.L.O. And today I want to just go over some of the features inside of Komplete Kontrol. It is a free VST that you can download from Native Instrument. It comes with a whole package with a whole bunch of stuff combined in it to give you a nice little workflow inside of any DAW. I wanted to show some of the reasons why I feel it's almost a cheat code inside of Reaper. Let's go. All right, so where I'll start is right here at Native Instruments. It looks like they have a brand new logo for Native Instruments as well. And it says now available, get Komplete Start free. So I will leave a link below in the description so you can actually go here and actually download it if you haven't already. I'm not sure why you haven't already, but yeah. And it has 18 instruments and effects that's included. So it has over 6 gigabytes of instruments, effects, loops, and samples. So this is a good way for you to actually get some sounds inside of Reaper, because it doesn't really come with many sounds, or it just has that one synthesizer in there. So this will give you some sounds that you can actually use in the DAW. All right, so here we are in Reaper, and this theme is called Peace. And I have the Komplete Kontrol actually pulled up on the screen so you guys can actually see it. You can use this as a sampler. So if you wanted to pull a sample in here, so let's say I just had a sample, pull it in here. So now I have this sample inside of Komplete Kontrol. I can control the pitch. I have envelopes here where I can change this from a one shot to AHD, which is basically attack, hold, and decay, right? And I also change it to an ADSR, so it'll do attack, decay, sustain, and release. It'll give me an option to kind of have the sample start where I want it to. So if I hit on the keyboard, right? So you have that option to do that. You can also reverse samples. You can drag and drop samples. You can search through your files and find samples in here. And sample editing is probably where a lot of people will actually be using this. So if you look up here toward the top here, it's basically telling me what the name of the sample is that I'm using. And over here, right here, it'll give me an option to do scales and arps right here inside of this Komplete Kontrol. I don't need to have a keyboard to do this. All I need to do is have just this VST in order to actually set this up. So you can set your scale. You can do arps or turn on arps over here, and you can do note repeat. If you click on here, it gives you an option for note repeat when you change your mode, right? And you can do your arps up and down. So if you click on here, it gives you an option to do different ones in here. You can do chords as well. You can set the rhythm, and it even has different sequences that you can actually use that are built straight from Native Instruments inside of Komplete Kontrol. You can even add swing to the rhythm that you have in here as well. You have an option to change your octave. So if you want to change it and give it more octaves, you can do that. And you can give it some dynamics and also give it a gate. So let's say you're doing an ARP and some of them you don't want to play, you can put on the gate and it'll cut some of them out. And you have an option to do an advanced section here. So if you go to advanced, you could do a retrigger and turn that on or off, or how many times it's gonna actually retrigger. You have a repeat and how many times it's gonna repeat. I have offset, so you can offset your notes or the pitch of it. And it even has an option for inversions. So you can do an inversion for 1 or 2 or whatever inversion you wanna set up. And you can also set your key range of where you want your scales to actually be or your arp to be. And you can even have it on a hold. So if you hold down the button, it'll actually hold the notes that you're actually doing, right? And then you have this little button here, right next to it, where you can actually change your voicings. So if you wanted it to play multiple notes at the same time, you can actually add more voices if you wanted to, up to 64. Or you can do a legato and make it kind of glide to different notes. So if I put on legato, you see this glide pops up in here. So now I have an option to glide anything I have inside of the Komplete Kontrol, right? And here is your pitch bend. So you can bend it to higher or lower. And this engine over here is basically telling you like different styles of beat machines that this VST can emulate. So if you're familiar with the MPC 60, That's pretty much what this is. The SP1200, which would be here. So these are different kind of textures that it can give to your samples once you have it inside Komplete Kontrol. And I think that is just bananas by itself, right? You have a pitch envelope, which is the same pitch envelope as here. So you can tune, and you can have like your start, which would be right here, this start and ending notes right here, this end and start. So you can manipulate your sample from here. You can even reverse the sample. So if I click reverse, it'll be backwards. You see it starts from this end here. So you have a reverse in here as well. And here is where you can change your ADSR or to one shot or AHD, which not many people really use. I don't necessarily like it myself, but it's there. So you have your attack, decay, sustain, release, the same as these right here, right? So this is where I really like this Komplete Kontrol. I can go right here to effects and filter, and I can put a compressor on here. I can add drive to my sound. You can do the bit depth right here, right? And you can have a filter turned on for this. You can do a low pass, a band pass, a high pass, or just an EQ right in here inside of Komplete Kontrol. So you can manipulate your sound so much right inside of this VST. Then you have the option for manipulation, which is kind of like the effects itself. So it gives you those same kind of like controls and cutoffs and pitch. You have a drive and you have a pan. You can set all these things to an envelope and actually control them and automate them right here inside of Reaper as well. So you can do all that right here from this tool, right? You also have LFO in here. So you could change if it's a sine player, rectangle, saw, or random. You have different speeds that you can put it at and different phase. And of course you have your velocity and your mod wheel here as well. So you can change those right here inside this little section, man. And I think that's really one of them cheat codes that a lot of people don't know about. You have an option to add so many different things inside here. And let alone you can even do like different plugins. So if you hit on this little plug here, it gives you an option to see your sampler, but you have a little plus sign right next to it. And this plus sign will allow you to add different VSTs, or you can add different effects right from here. So if I wanted to add like a reverb to here, I can add it right here inside of Komplete Kontrol. So I'll put the ROM on there. So now I have ROM, and I can manipulate this and change the sound however I want to inside here, and then go back to my sampler and change things in here as well. And then I can go up here and do different scales, chords, and arps. And I can manipulate everything right here inside of Komplete Kontrol. So basically, I'm not sure if you guys know this, I used to be really deep into FL Studio. So this is one of the things that FL Studio did do. Like you had every channel was like a sampler where you can actually manipulate different things. And this right here gives you an option to do those same features that I would do inside of FL Studio. So that's why I really appreciate that Native Instruments actually put this out there, and it is actually free. So it does give you an option to like pull up your own files. So you can even do searches in here. So you don't necessarily have to go to Reaper in order to actually pull files in here. You can actually find your files right in here. So if I go back to my music folder, I know I have stuff in here, and it brings me to all my kits, all my sounds. I can find them very easy inside of this Komplete Kontrol as well. Not only is it giving you an option to manipulate your sounds, add any sample you want to in here, it also gives you an option to find your own list of your own sounds inside of this VST as well. But that's not all. What's really cool is you could pull some of those VSTs inside of this VST. Let me show you. All right, so I'm gonna hit this drop down and I'm gonna go to instruments. So I have VST3s, which is the Native Instrument stuff, and then I have these other VSTs. So I have a whole bunch of different VSTs I can pull up in here. So let's say I want a Lizard Lounge. Lizard Lounge pulls up inside of Komplete Kontrol, and it gives you the option for the knobs that are on here as well. So these knobs are reflected right here in this knob. So if you had a whole bunch of different knobs on here, you will have another page to go to find those other parameters that it has set on there. Really, really cool. And like I said, all I did was open it up, and Komplete Kontrol takes over and shows you how to actually use it inside there. All right. So if I go back in here, there are other instruments that I can actually load up. Everything doesn't load, but the majority of the things that I actually do use, like this augmented strings from AutoRewind, this will pull up in here. Really, really cool. Like I said, this is easy to set up in here. And if you have the keyboard, it's just a bonus on top of that, on top of all these things that I'm actually showing you here. But here's where I really enjoy Komplete Kontrol. I'm gonna close this out. I'm gonna right click in here. I actually have some templates set up. So you can set up templates really, really easy inside of Reaper. If you're not sure how to set up a template in Reaper, let me know below in the description. Let me see if I can do a video, show you guys how to set that up if I get enough people asking how to do it. All right, so I have this boom bap kit. So I'm gonna pull that up. All of these are Komplete Kontrols. So if I go here and click on it, I have the kick here. So if I go here and click on it, I have the kick. So, and I have them mapped out. So if I go to my next one, and I don't need the keyboard to actually do this. I can actually do this from the virtual or MIDI keyboard. So if I go to view and I go down to virtual MIDI keyboard, and here it is. So I can hit on my regular keyboard, my typing keyboard, and I'll be able to play the sound. So this is definitely a great cheat code. So like you can do all these things in here without really worrying about it. So let me pull up one more. I'm gonna pull up. All right, so I have this Komplete Kontrol here. Let's say I wanted to go, I'm gonna find some files. So I'm gonna go to my music, and I'm gonna go inside of these kits, and I'm gonna go inside of cymatics. And I know they have like a one shot, there it goes. So there's some basses, bells. All right, let's do the guitar. So I'm gonna drag it over. So now I have my guitar in here. I'm gonna change this to ADSR, right? And like I was showing before, I go up here to these little notes, boom. And I could turn this on to a scale, right? So I have my scale turned on. Let's say we do E, and let's say we do a minor, right? And I want to do chords. So I'm gonna put it on harmonizer. So it gives me an option to change the type and the root note of it if I wanted to. So if I play from the typing keyboard, so I'm gonna go here, my virtual MIDI keyboard. It's actually playing notes, or chords, I should say. So let's say I wanted to actually see those chords being played as actual chords. So let's turn this off. I'm gonna turn off these scales, right? I'm gonna close out of this Komplete Kontrol. Here is one of the cheat codes I believe Reaper has, and it's really simple. So this this effects right here that says show track input effects window, you can get here by doing a right click and track input effects, right? So this will pull up this little box here, and I'm gonna open up another Komplete Kontrol. And I'm gonna hit add that on there, right? So as you see, I'm just adding it onto this MIDI part here. So now this can actually be my chord generator. And I can use the Komplete Kontrol chord generator on any VST that I have. So if I had this set to something else, let's go and let's change this to something else. Let's go and replace this, right? I'm gonna replace this effect. And let's say we did expand, right? I'm gonna do expand, boom. So now I have expand here, and let's find a sound. All right, this is a piano and an old choir, right? So it's playing regular notes. So now if I go inside this complete control and I turn on the scale and I set this, let's say to E again, and I go minor, turn on my chords. So now when I play, definitely a cheat code. So you can have your own generator right here from Complete Control. Like I said, you can put this on any instrument. I believe this is super dope. And you can actually add it for the arps as well. So if I want to turn on arps, right? And let's go up and down, leave it on the 16th. So if I go and play a note from my typing keyboard, and you have that right here. So if I wanted to do different octaves, let's go 2 octaves, right? And I go back to my typing keyboard. Right from Complete Control inside of Reaper. If that's not a cheat code, I don't really know what is. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you have all these advantages inside here, and you can also do like advanced stuff and change the range. You can do like note repeat, so it'll go like this. Really, really dope. Really, really easy to do, and this is all inside Complete Control, which is free. All right. All right. So another thing I actually use this for is 808s. And I'm going to actually just pull up one of the ones I already have set up because it's already tuned. It's a tuned 808 that I have in here. All right. So I'm using Complete Control as the 808, right? So I have this 808 here and I have it set to legato and I have it gliding for 8 seconds. And I'm going to use my typing keyboard in order to actually do glide. So if I hit and I can slide notes right from here just using Complete Control. I don't have to have a MIDI keyboard to do this. All I need is this. And I think that's truly one of the things that a lot of people don't know that Complete Control can actually do. And that's why I say it has a whole bunch of cheat codes in it, right? So let's say I wanted to do like I would do in FL Studio. So like these are my drums. I wanted to put them on the rack. I can go to extensions. I'm gonna open up Sower, right? So here's my Sower. I have it docked right here in this section. So if I highlight my kicks and stuff, so I'm gonna go kicks and snares. I have them all highlighted, right? So I'll go down here where it says multi, click on this drop down, and I'm gonna go to add selected tracks. So this is kind of what you would do almost like if you were in FL Studio. You have that option to pull all the stuff in here. So right now I have it on 4 bars and it's starting from the first one. So I'm gonna have it loop. So I'm gonna hit on this and the loop is on now. So now you see the loop up here inside of Reaper. So now I have a drum rack basically right here inside of Reaper, just like I would if I was using FL Studio. So it gives you that option to get this workflow going the way you want it to go. And this is all with Complete Control. This is the only tool that I'm using right now is Complete Control, right? So if I just did, want to do some hats, let's change this to 8, right? And I'm just gonna go across here. This is basically a 2-step hi-hat pattern. So if I go out and go up, right? So now 16, and you can see it spread out. So, right? So I have that in there. And you know, if I want to get fancy, I can right click on this one and open in a single channel, right? So now I can actually do like those adding weird hi-hat stuff in here. Right? So you have that option to set that in here as well. Then you just go back to this little thing and go back to switch to multi-channel mode, and you'll be back where you started, right? So then you can kind of add your snares. And just that simple, you can create your own little drum patterns and set everything up inside of Reaper if you wanted to. And I think these are definite cheat codes that you can actually use inside of Reaper with Komplete Kontrol, which is also free. And then I'm not even mentioning all the other sounds that it comes with, all the other samples that it actually comes with as well. This is just me using it inside of Reaper like regular, right? All right, so I've showed you in this video that you can use it as a sampler. So you can edit samples, you can reverse samples, you can use effects in there. You can actually have your own sounds pulled in there. You can drag and drop. You can use one-shots. You can create chords. You can create arps. So all this is right here inside of Komplete Kontrol, and that's why I feel it's a definite cheat code for Reaper. If you do agree with me, definitely leave a comment below and just put Komplete Kontrol, right? So with that being said, that's pretty much the end of this video. I hope you guys really got something out of it, and I hope you guys are using Komplete Kontrol in the future. I think it's a great VST to actually have in your arsenal. And like I said, it has so many benefits. You can add other VSTs inside of it. Like I said, I haven't even touched the fact that you can use it with the keyboard to control stuff. I haven't mentioned the fact that it comes with other sounds, and it's absolutely free. So what are you waiting for? I'm not sponsored by Native Instrument. I'm just letting you guys know because I really do care about community and people actually having tools to do things that they want to do. So with that being said, that's the end of this video. And I want to thank you guys for watching Learning Reaper. Till the next time, people. Peace. Hey, you. Yes, you. YouTube wants you to watch this video next, man. Go ahead and click it. I'll wait. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm not going to keep waiting here. All right. I will see you in the next video, though. Peace.